G'day guys, welcome back to the SuperCoach YouTube channel. Today we will be reviewing round 14 and discussing trades. I don't know, there's a few more buy rounds, we'll discuss some strategy and the likes. So, good week for me, scored 2,212, which got me into the top 250 for the round, up to a rank of 907, so that was a nice change to see. Let's get into the sides. So in defense, Sinclair 109. He was very good. I think he started hot this game as well. So I just got to jog my memory a little bit. Oh, this is against the Dogs. Yeah, he was going very well. I don't know. We take a 109. That's pretty good. Has been averaging 115, but 6 points. Who really cares? Dale was really good as well. Just sort of ran around on his own, did whatever he pleased. He has a really low contested rate, so his ratios always seem pretty bad, but he's actually playing genuinely well. It's just a lot of uncontested handball receive stuff. And then Whitfield 140, returned to halfback this week, which was a brilliant thing to see, and was a big part of the Giants getting up over the Lions. So shout out to Kingsley for putting his best halfback back to halfback. But yeah, he was really good. He had a couple of shocking clangers in a row, but brought it back, so that was good to see. I think Ash is an interesting one where he has some really bad unforced clangers as well, whereas Whitfield's generally trying to take the game on. But Ash, he had a kick down the middle from a kick into Brent Daniels that eventually had Brent Daniels crunched. So I don't know. I'm hoping we see a little bit more ball for Whitfield instead of Ash, but who knows. And then Rosie 117, he was very solid. Felt like he's been getting attention a lot the last few weeks, and then this week that didn't happen. So, ran around and did what he wanted. Dane Zorko, 123. I remember watching the start of this game, and after 1 minute I heard, it looks like Bedford has gone to Zorko. No, Bedford had not gone to Zorko. He was just playing as a forward. Probably something to keep in mind with not always listening to the commentary team about tags, because they're absolutely obsessed with it, and they are generally wrong. So, no surprises there. They were wrong, and Zorko went 123 in a tough matchup, so that was very good to see. And then McKercher, 60 kind of stinks, but yeah, the conditions weren't good for McKercher, even though the matchup was. He still had plenty of ball, which is the main thing, and was still playing half back, so I'm expecting the bigger scores to come, particularly with games at Marvel. I don't know where he's playing this week, but it's not going to be MCG 120. Who knows what Melbourne weather's going to give us. Angus Clark was pretty poor against Geelong. Looked like he was playing half back, which is a plus. But yeah, he had some shocking kicks at the start of the game and then got benched for a massive period of time and just couldn't really recover with the game being over pretty much at halftime for the Dons. So it is what it is. Pretty hurt that I didn't get Johnson, because I'm starting to think that maybe I could get to a 24th, but we live and we learn. Obviously, I got McCarthy instead because I had to. It would have been very nice to have him on field, but we'll get to that in a sec. Then Brayshaw, 130. Conditions were really good for him and Sarong, who I'll talk about now as well, with a 142. Just as expected. Really hoping Sarong's bounce back has begun, because I think he's not that highly owned. And I'm not sure too many will be looking to trade him in this week. What's the ownership? Yeah, 26%. Okay, it is a fair bit. So, yeah, fingers crossed for Sarong. And then Bond, 66. I think this is the worst score I've ever got from Bond. I've owned him a lot, so that was pretty disappointing to see. He did get very hard tagged by Windhager, who was very good. But on the flip side, Bont really wasn't trying to break the tag as much as he was trying to just free up the space for his teammates, hence why this is a 66 and Bont didn't just go ballistic in front of goal or something like that. I did think that Ross would drop it when they were getting pumped by 50 points at halftime, but he did not. And from what Adam Simpson was saying on the commentary, it sounded like that was very much this tag is working, but we're losing the game. How much do we lose by if we let him run loose? So it was a trying to save face tag in the second half, most likely. But yeah, it is what it is. Bont will bounce back. He's Bont. I did say I should go for Richards instead, but I was looking at this game thinking, there's no way they don't tag Richards right. Some of the things that Richards does is simply unbelievable. Like, he just gets absolute meters gained by running the ball, not by foot, and then just laser beams onto his teammate's chest. So I don't understand why you would go after Richards instead of Bont, who, if he wanted to, could impact the game anyway. So that's just me. Maybe Richards is too good. He did break the Mullen tag the week before, so I don't know. But yeah, pretty sad I don't have Richards, who's now worth more than Bont, but it is what it is. And then Dawson, 118. Yeah, Hawks is a pretty good matchup for mids at the moment. I think Dawson kicked a goal. I've only watched a quarter of this game. I might watch the rest of it, but it has been a tough watch so far, given all the points and the wind and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. There was a tough watch so far for this game, as I say. So yeah. But yeah, Dawson was fine. And then Tom Green, 110. Got a bit of attention from Dunkley, but not a heap. Dunkley sort of got moved around once Payne went down. So shout out to Jack Payne. Hope you have a great recovery. Really sad to see a bloke who's having a really strong season in a contender go down with a season-ending injury. So yeah, hope you're back to your best next season, Jack. But yeah, Tom Green was solid. Really like this pick. I am of the belief that is the last bad matchup for Tom Green this year. So should be smooth sailing from here on out. As you can see, the history is pretty good against these sides. And then he goes Essendon, Sydney, who have been easy to score against. Maybe the Dogs is a tough matchup, but then, yeah, North Gold Coast and Kilda are very easy matchups as well. So, very good for Tom Green. Zach Butters, 101. Didn't really get attention, which is strange because Butters normally kills Melbourne. So, yeah, I was surprised to see that. Hopefully he doesn't get attention over the next couple of weeks. Jordan hasn't really been tagging mids, and Chincotta was exceptional against West Coast as a non-tagger, so maybe he gets to play on his own when they play Port. I don't know, but yeah, pretty rare you see a Port win and Butters is not just going bananas, so a bit disappointing, but it is what it is. He will probably still go berserk for the rest of the year. Chera, 102, was hoping for a little bit more against West Coast, but it is what it is. Still very happy with Adam Chera. Huswaite is just another player. So I thought McCarthy would be the sub, which is why I had him here. But obviously Huswaite was subbed off at halftime because, yeah, he just doesn't have enough attributes to be a good midfielder at AFL level, I think, which is unfortunate for him because he is dominating in the VFL, but lacks speed and lacks polish on the outside. So, yeah, it's pretty tough for Huswaite to maintain his position in the side. And then McCarthy on debut. I love the mid-season draft stories, so pretty awesome to see McCarthy go berserk in a position of need for West Coast in his first game. So awesome for him. He is genuinely good as well at halfback, so another plus. I think he is 24 and will be a part of the climb for West Coast. So yeah, hopefully they can hang on to guys like Harley Reid and build up from there. But yeah, McCarthy was excellent, and I think if you were really down bad, you could use him at D6 or M8, but yeah, I wouldn't really advise that. But hey, you know, if he had forward status, he'd be the easiest F6 ever for me, but you know, he's not forward status, I don't have that luxury. And then X105, I took the VC off X before this game because I just thought that Shrek and Jackson, you know, in Shrek's form, he hasn't been hard to score against, and Jackson isn't hard to score against either, but double ruck that are both competent on their day. I was like, oh, maybe I'll give X a miss this week. Lo and behold, he goes 105. I haven't watched this game either. I was quite busy this weekend, but it sounds like Shrek was very good this week, and hence Cherry scored poorly. It is what it is. I don't know what Cherry's break-even is. 159. Probably hits that against Carlton, to be honest. There is some speculation that Carlton brings Pitnet in and goes with 2 rucks this week because of Curnow and Mackay injuries, as well as playing against Cherry. So, whoops. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Fingers crossed that does not happen, as I own both Cherry and De Koning. So it is what it is. And then Gawn, 126. He was fine. I don't know. Melbourne were pretty poor, I thought, on the day. And I think that sort of rubbed off on Gawn. I did notice that Sweet was being used to pretty much just crash into him as much as possible when Sweet was in the ruck. So, I mean, there's nothing untoward about that. It's not really a surprise either because Gawn is so dominant, particularly around the ground. Didn't really have that same level of dominance in this game. And also Melbourne couldn't score from stoppage, which I presume hurts Gawn's score as well. So, yeah, Melbourne were pretty bad. But we take the 126, and I didn't want to run with TDK because I was like, oh, if I don't take a 126, I'm probably going to be in trouble with TDK. I got points in the end. Pretty rare against West Coast. City Ruckman only goes 123, but it is what it is. Smith 114. I think this is the first price drop of the year for Smith, who's having an unbelievable season. Yeah, genuinely, first price drop. What a gun. Yeah, I don't know. Essendon just sort of let him and Holmes run around doing whatever they want. Holmes was really good this week. He's been a very painful non-own so far this season, and something I got very wrong in the preseason. So learning experience for me next year. Don't disrespect the great Max Holmes. Petrarca was dreadful on the weekend. Got a little bit of attention in the first half, but the attention dropped off in the second half and he couldn't get involved. So pretty frustrating to see as a supporter and an owner. Horn Francis was on 90 at halftime and then had a shoulder problem in the second half. And yeah, it was a little bit probably fortunate for non-owners that this was only a 136 in the end, because he was genuinely dominating in the first half. Whereas in the second half, he was a little bit quieter. I think the shoulder is fine. It sounds like it was just a stinger. Fingers crossed, because I have held him for so long. But yeah, 136 on return was excellent. Caleb Daniel was my lowest scorer for the week. So not having McCarthy on field cost me 53 points, which is a massive shame, but it is what it is. I've been saying it is what it is a lot. Someone commented that last week, so my apologies. I will try and develop a larger vocabulary. But yeah, Daniel against Freo. As I said, I didn't watch this game. I am concerned about Daniel's scoring from here with McKercher being in half-back. And I believe McKercher should be the primary ball user in that defence. So I am a little bit concerned, but we'll see how we go. The forward line is dreadful at the moment. We'll talk about Rankin now, I guess, who's pretty much playing predominantly forward from here on out. It seems 81 is good. I think he had a late goal that carried that, but yeah, I don't know. I'm concerned about Rankin. I said in the preseason I wasn't really certain the role would maintain itself throughout the whole year. It looked really good at the start of the year. I got sucked in. I traded in. To be honest, probably no one else is going better. The one that I feel like I'm going to miss is, apart from Nick Martin, who is genuinely killing me and also a genuine gun. The other one is Sam Darcy. Would be good to have either of them, but yeah, I'm not overly concerned. Most have Rankin and don't really have the trades to offload him, so yeah. And then TDK 123, so that was pretty nice. We take that. Expected more against Flynn, but it is what it is. And there I go, said it again. And then the rest of the bench is dead. So, all right, what am I doing for trades this week? So, I have two schools of thought. I have 22 keepers. I can just maintain that. Or I can look to get a 23rd at some point, which is kind of what I want to do. I could run 22 and 7 injury trades, but I'm concerned that I'm going to lose 10 to 20 points per week by not having a 23rd. So I'm looking for a way of doing that before the end of the buys. So my options are, I can trade Moraes this week for Butler, who worst case is a playing forward. From what I watched of the Hawthorn Adelaide game as well, Butler looked not too bad. So I'm going to lock this one in off the bat. The next thing that I want to do is I need to assess where I can get the money to upgrade either Butler or Clark or whatever to finish the season. So I'm going to get about 100k from Clark, presuming he plays next week. Maybe I get 110 going to a loop. So I have 230k to stack on someone's head. Obviously, I won't trade Clark next week. But there is another option, which is trading out Max Gawn. I have TDK in the flex. I can get anyone. My issue is I'm not sure who I would go to if I did do that, because I would ideally like to make 150k at least. So let me have a little bit of a squeeze. I could go Darcy. How much is Nick Martin? Average. Merit for 530. Fascinating. Nick Martin's 600k. My goodness. Yeah, I'm not paying that. I could go Nas, who I think probably does 110. So then, if I think I'm losing 20 points a week, and I think Gawn does 125, although he does have two tough matchups coming up with He's got 3 really, although Rob doesn't generally trouble Max, but Wits, Rob, and then Cherry's not really a great. It's not a great run. But he has West Coast again. And he went 200 on West Coast already. Decisions. I don't know what he would go against Carlton either. He has historically belted St Kilda, but didn't last time. Did towel up Meek. Was good against Cameron. Yeah, it's an interesting decision, this one. The other thing with this is that it gives me like injury cover. So let's say, could I do this now and just go? So I'd want but I'm trading in Butler, so it kind of makes no sense to do this. So I could go Gawn to. Well, who would I go is the other question. Certainly not Prestia. I don't trust Hewitt. I'm not making enough money going to Richards or Holmes. So the obvious one is Nas, who does make me 150k. And then if I get a price rise of 15k from Clark, I have 470 to work with, which could get me Sam Darcy. The problem is I'm not necessarily convinced that TDK is going to be a top 3 ruck from here. So I could do this, as I say, and then look to upgrade Clark. The other option is I could actually play with 22 until McCarthy starts pumping out money, and then just flip him. But the other question is McCarthy just a keeper level? And if he is, I should actually do this trade potentially, and then get a forward in. I don't know. I think I should have another week to assess anyway, because Gawn's not losing money and Clark's not losing money. And I'm also pretty well set up this buy round. Like I'm going to do this just in case I stuff this up again. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have 18 keepers playing. I only just have, what is this? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I only have the 18 playing though. Oh wait, does Essendon play this week? Oh, Essendon plays this week. Hold on. So I actually have 19. I can do this. Which gets Clark on field. Maybe I just hold trades for this week. Oh no, I've traded in Butler. Which I don't have to do either, but I kind of want to cash Murray's in. The question I have to toss up is it worth going to 3 trades to... Oh, maybe I could go to 4. I don't know. I'm kind of keen to do this and just hold cash until McCarthy goes bananas. But yeah, that's where I am for now. I guess I can talk upgrade targets. I think people will still be looking for players to upgrade to. So I do like Sarong. Doesn't have a buy. 540k. I think that's or 550k. I think that's a good price. Dale for 560. I don't know if I would go there, but if you need a defender, you could. Who else do we have here? Butters at 570 is still a good buy. Bonds at 590 is a really good buy. He may get this against Richmond this week, so you could buy this week. Hewitt at 540, I don't love. I just don't trust the body, but we'll see. You could go there. He will be a pod, so if that's the sort of move you want to make, this is a good buy. I don't think you should be going for players who haven't had the buy yet either. So Nas at 530 is also a great buy. Yeah, he's a fantastic buy. Clark, 550, you probably get what you pay for. McRae, 490. I don't know about McRae. I'm not certain about that one at all. Neil at 550, not for me. Sheasel, at 5'10" is not bad either. I think the role is good enough for the scoring to pick up. I don't love Heaney. There is Mills as well if you're looking for a cheaper option. Probably wouldn't go Steele at 550, but he was a good buy at 500. Kennedy at 486 is another one who will be a pod, and one that I don't hate. It's very hard to predict the Bulldogs midfield setup going forward. Vaughan Francis at 490. You're probably not getting him cheaper if you want him, so he's another good option. And then Sam Darcy at 460 with a break-even of 150 that is also in danger this week. Yeah, decisions. So yeah, they're the good sort of options I like. You could bring in McCarthy on his buy if you've got enough players. I may not be able to do this. I'm wondering, are there any other forward rookies? We'll just have a quick look. I should actually do that. Let's do this. Any ones that I like? Gee, Ramsden went 65. Unbelievable. Hayes won't play enough. Did like May, but not a good scorer. I mean, if Closey plays, you could go there, but the job security is clearly not good. Yeah, the rest, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of Butler or nothing for me. Hopefully, I get enough players this week. That'd be fantastic. So yeah, vice captain, captain. Very easy this week. You simply go Cherry into Bontempelli. Easiest round of the year for captain, vice captain. I think there's a high chance we see Windhager on Dacos, so I'd probably avoid. There's scope for Butters to get tagged, but they didn't last time. Who knows? Probably wouldn't go TDK or Chera against North. You could go a Freo boy against Essendon as well. Brayshaw maybe, but who knows how they use Durham and Setterfield, who Setterfield has been tagging. I think they've let Durham go generally. Baz against Brisbane probably wouldn't go there. They're kind of the main ones. You could go Tom Green as well against the Suns, but I feel like everyone pretty much has Sherry and a Dogs midfielder, so I'd probably just go there. If not, you could look at TDK or a Freo midfielder, but probably no need. Yeah, that's it. Oh, you could go Whitfield against Gold Coast as well. That's another one. But yeah, that's it for me this week. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know how you went below in the comments. I'm still a little bit concerned about my season, but can hopefully hold on for maybe a top 500 finish. I should have a good week in round 16 when others struggle. So looking forward to that one. But yeah, best of luck to all of you. Let me know how you went, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.